Hey everybody, this is Dude, and this is the Bourbon Boys Advent Tasting Podcast. We pulled together some of our favorite picks to share with you as we count down to Christmas. We hope you get a chance to taste some of these great bourbon brands this holiday season with friends and family. Until then, bourbon on.
Let's get started. Who's up first? What do you want to go with?
I'll go.
Dramatic pause. Go for
Dramatic
it. What have you got? What have you got?
First of the year. So I've got the Tin Cup 10. And this is kind of a cool, I guess I always say that. This is kind of a cool story because it seems like all these bourbons have cool stories. But so the Tin Cup is actually out of Denver, Colorado. At least that's where they bottle it. So this is where the story gets pretty cool. It's 2/3 corn, 1/3 rye. And they age the bourbon in white American oak barrels. Now, the thing with Tin Cup is that it's a blend of two high rye whiskeys that they blend together, and then they cut it down to proof with water from the Rockies. So thus the tie back. So
kind of like Coors.
Yes.
Kind of like Coors, yeah. Well, kinda. So, okay, Dave. So they cut to proof after 10 years with the Rocky Mountain spring water. The distilling is actually done out in Indiana. So, and part of that is because the grains that are used are from the grain belt of the Midwest. So some of the more higher quality grains come from that region, and they use that. So they actually distill it in Indiana, and then what they'll do is it goes back out to Colorado, and they actually bottle it by hand. So it's not easy to get. So the fact that you got it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay. I see Tin Cup, the non-10-year, everywhere.
Yes.
Seems pretty commercial.
But the 10-year, they specifically talk about it on their website, that if you can find it, that you probably want to pick it up and put it on your shelf.
That's good marketing speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On their website?
Yeah.
All right.
If you see our product, you should buy it.
Strong call to action.
Why? I never thought of that.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh, God. You guys are all marketers. You can't get your head out of fake news. So
keep up the storytelling.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's an 84 proof. The color is dark amber, as you can see. So really pretty cool bottle. Yeah. So
but it does drip a lot, by the way. Sorry about the table.
I think that might be the person handling that bottle. So and you guys should really, I mean, not to do marketing speak here, but you should check out their website, because it actually is a really well done website, completely different than what I've seen from most of the other bourbons that we've talked about. It is really rooted in kind of the heritage of Colorado, Rocky Mountains, and it to the point where it actually says this is a bourbon you should drink in the mountains. The color is dark amber. The nose is kind of cinnamon, pine, honey, fresh cut grass, they actually describe it, which that's a new one. Palate, I'll be interested to see what you guys say, given that you're trying it right now. And then the finish, I'm actually really curious as well. So I'm not going to give those away. But here's the one thing that I thought was really cool, and I think this could lead into some interesting conversation. One of the things that they actually say on their website says, we subscribe to the old adage that difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. And so as we think about kind of the theme of tonight, like the decade, we're moving into a new decade. We're going to talk about the last decade, where we were 10 years ago, where we are today, and kind of the tie to 10-year proof. It's just something for us to think about. And I thought that was a really cool statement. So the name actually is for the coal mining pioneers. So if you notice on the top of the bottle, this little tin cup, the tin cup is a representation of the cups that the coal miners would actually drink their whiskey from after they would come out of the mines. So the word tin cup actually comes from a little town in Colorado where there was a coal mine, and also the cup actually represents the cups that they actually drank out of.
Nice.
So that's the tie to the brand. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now here's another cool thing about this particular brand of bourbon. So they do what is called a backcountry adventure. So every year they award 4 people this trip of a lifetime in the backcountry of Colorado. So you have to apply through their Instagram, and you have to send in a photo of something representative of you as an adventurer. And,
like 7 bottles of bourbon in front of us?
Like 7 bottles of bourbon. I don't know if that quite do it, but at least 2 cup is on the table. So, but it's for 4 people, 4 guests with those people. Sounds like a pretty amazing thing. So
that's pretty cool.
I've never seen that from another brand that we've been working or drinking. So the other thing they talk about uses, which I thought was cool, and I think Derek, there's one in here you'll actually like. But essentially, they talk about pour and serve. Right, that's what we're doing tonight. Something warm. So they talked about putting it in like a tea and a coffee with a little twist of lemon or something of that nature, and drink it hot.
A little hot toddy?
Yeah, a little hot toddy, exactly. And then they talk about forage and combine. So, combining it with things. So obviously from a drink standpoint, and then get cooking. So they talked about throwing a half cup of this stuff into a pan with some butter, salt and pepper, onions, let it kind of go down, put a steak in there, and actually make a steak over the fire, which I thought was pretty cool. So again, I think just the way they're playing up kind of the essence of the brand is pretty cool. Not to talk about that too much, but it was really different than most of the ones that we've researched in the past.
It's got a good taste.
And then, of course, they talk about time as the most valuable part of any bourbon. So
this is true. What do you taste?
Well, I mean, it definitely, I get the rye immediately.
Yep.
But it smooths out after about 2 or 3 sips.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
How would you describe the finish, taste-wise?
I've got cinnamon and honey. Like those are the 2 that I keep that are sticking to my tongue. I think it's got a great full flavor.
This is good.
I do get the rye, a little bit of that bite, and I think it's got a nice. For me, it feels like a long finish.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away right away.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They describe it as caramel and biscuits.
Wow.
I'm sure I get the biscuits, but but okay.
Colorado biscuits or English biscuits.
Marketing team.
But in any event. So.
No, it's good. I like it.
I think it's good. I like it, surprisingly so. I'm not a huge fan of the regular 10 cup.
Right.
So when we talking about this, and you said the high rye, it's like, oh wow, I'm not sure I'm going to like this, but I like the cinnamon. It's got enough pop in it.
Yeah.
But it finishes really well. So I would definitely go back to the well on this.
Yeah, I think the original, which you're talking about, I think it's aged for about 4 years.
Okay.
So there's about a 6-year difference between the 2.
Right. Well, I don't really find a long finish to it. For me, for me, it just kind of peters out.
My tongue is still tingling.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Here we go again.
Hit it again.
You had to start it, Derek, right?
That's right.
Nice.
Anyway, but I actually like it. I think it's good.
So, Kurt, what was the long road saying there?
The long
all great destinations.
That we subscribe to the old adage that difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations.
All right. Now, 10 years ago, what was your road that got you here?
God, that's actually a great question. We had just moved out to New Jersey
10 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2008, but it was so a little post that, but so that was a tough move. Our daughter was 9. It was the first time we had left Wisconsin, family. My job was super challenging because of the environment and, the change that we were going through. And, so I think back, because I was thinking about that today. I'm like, okay, 10 years from now, that was 2010. And thinking about what's going on. My dad passed away shortly after we moved there. So a lot had happened. So it was, we were kind of starting over, and it was a great move for us, but we were kind of starting over, making new friends, starting new schools, new jobs, new people, new everything. So it was kind of the beginning of a whole different kind of journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and now you're here.
And now we're here, which this move was easy because of that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So easier for us. Yeah. Not so much for our daughter, but.
All right. Well, there's our first 10. I like it. I think it's noticing the difference in the richness and fullness of the 10.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm sorry, how much was this?
55.
55? Yeah.
Well, that's what Derek told me.
Yeah. Interstate transit fees and all that.
Exactly.
Transport tariff.
But totally, though, I kind of agree with the, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the original tin cup, but this one's good. The bottle is really cool. Got a little extra, I think a little decor than the usual. So
yeah,
I would highly encourage picking this one up.
Yeah, they make a little joke about the bottle on their site about how it's shaped like that so it can't roll too far away.
Makes sense.
So,
yeah,
so
practical.
it's never too far.
Tell the creative team got it here. They got a copy on every corner there, Derek.
Yeah.
Filling it up. No white space.
No white space.
No white space. But this one actually, I'm going to say it's still a young distillery, and considering what we have talked about in the past, it started in 1972. And it was started by a gentleman by the name of Jess Gray. I think it's Graber, Graber. He's the founder.
His name's on
well,
right
there you go.
Bottle.
Yeah.
One of
The whole
many
story is probably on the bottle.
One of the many copy points on the bottle. Yeah.
So, but anyway,
Nice.
kind of a cool story. Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah.
So whenever I see Tin Cup, I think of the Kevin Costner golf movie Tin Cup.
Yeah.
But that's not it.
I don't know it.
Okay.
I think of it as well, and apparently
believe
based
you.
on that story, the answer is no.
No. Okay.
From all of us Bourbon Boys, we want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Bourbon on.